When I was 30 years old, I was diagnosed with rumination OCD, and mind you, before I was diagnosed, I had no idea that OCD could even come in the form of rumination. I thought it was just in regards to cleanliness and needing things to be organized and perfect. And so safe to say that my entire world was turned upside down when I found out that I was diagnosed, because it just made me question everything about myself and my identity and basically everything that I had done throughout my entire life. And it really had me thinking, where did this OCD come from? Like, what did I go through as a child that made my brain cope this way? And I feel like there are several events throughout my life that have led to the OCD running its course in my brain. But I would say the biggest culprit for my OCD was being diagnosed with type 1 diabetes at the age of 4. So I've had type 1 diabetes for going on 27 years now, and from the outside looking in, it's really easy for people to think that diabetes is really easy to manage, but majority of people do not understand the severity of this disease and what can happen to you if you don't take care of it. For reference, if you don't take care of your diabetes, you can go blind, you can have your feet amputated, you can go into kidney failure, you can get neuropathy, which is losing feeling in your feet, you can get gastroparesis, which is your stomach becoming paralyzed. The list goes on and on. And so when I was a kid, I didn't understand that these are the things that I had to be thinking about when it came to managing my diabetes, because I was a kid, I didn't understand. And as I got older, specifically in my early 20s, and I started learning that these were the things that could happen if you didn't have your diabetes under control, it really scared me and it lit a fire under me. Not to mention, I had at least 10, if not more, very traumatic, severe low blood sugar experiences that led me to having seizures overnight that nearly unalived me. So for the majority of my middle school, high school, and college experience, I would never get full nights of sleep because I was quite literally terrified of going to sleep. So take that combined with learning about the complications that come with diabetes and just all of the daily stressors and decisions that you have to make when it comes to managing this disease, it is no surprise to me that I have OCD and I constantly ruminate about things and I want things to go a very specific way, because my brain was taught that if you do this, then you will get this result. Especially when it comes to diabetes, you're told if you manage this disease, then you will be healthy. And so in my 20s, when I finally started getting my diabetes under the best control it had ever been, with that came a lot of lifestyle changes, a lot of habit changes, and it led me to nearly having perfect control 100% of the time. Well, what happened was anytime my diabetes wasn't under control, and this could happen for so many reasons that are out of my control, it would send me spiraling. Because once again, I thought that if I followed a specific set of rules or if I manipulated as much as I could from my end, then I should be getting a specific result. And unfortunately, diabetes can have a mind of its own sometimes. People don't understand how many things can interfere with your diabetes management. As a woman, it can be your period, it can be your hormones, it can be how hot it is outside, exercise, walking, the type of food you eat. Like, people really don't understand how many decisions a diabetic person needs to make per day just to keep themselves alive. And so from my perspective, having diabetes for the past 27 years probably makes up 80% of the reason why I have OCD. And even still to this day, if I ever do lose control of my diabetes, it takes a lot in me not to completely freak out and jump to the worst case scenario. And it really does go to show that the body keeps score. Traumatic experiences really do stay with you for your entire life. It doesn't matter how much time has passed. And it really makes me sad to think about that going through all of this as a young, innocent child made my brain think that it had to come to this, aka the OCD type thoughts, to feel safe. And so because of that, I try to give myself a lot of grace. I try not to be too hard on myself, but I'm very harsh with myself most of the time. But I did want to share a little bit as to where I think my OCD stems from, as well as share a little bit more about type 1 diabetes, because I don't ever really talk about that on this account.